Welcome everyone to the How You Profit Show. This is your guest. No, she's my guest. I'm your host. I'm your host, Jeff Herring. Goodness, and welcome, welcome to the show. I love it. We're here because I think most creators have been lied to. Just create more, just post more, out creates everybody else, and you'll be fine. It's a prescription for exhaustion, unless, of course, you can do a $100,000 a month budget and get everybody else to do it for you. What we're about is taking a lot of times something that you've already created, or maybe fresh content that's done well, and turning that into an evergreen profit machine, which is basically four different ways for people to come on board with you. So you've instantly got multiple streams of income that are interconnected and don't exhaust you. Now, as we are often doing here on the show, we have we'll announce one sponsor in the beginning and another sponsor at the end. So our start off sponsor is called um, the Global Coalition of Creators Who Change Their Niche every Tuesday. Okay. You can find them at myaudienceisconfused.com and claim your bonus, How to Profit Without Notifying Anyone. Okay. Now, if you're rapidly going to that link, myaudienceisconfused.com, I made this up this morning. It's just we're playing here. Okay. So don't be confused by this stuff. Um, and so one person's reporting an echo. Uh, I'm good here. Are you good over there, Shannon?
Yeah, I'm good. I have my
Okay.
headphones on.
Okay. Um, you might, folks, whoever's getting that echo, might want to uh, get out and then come back in. Thank you for letting me know. Now, you may notice that there is a kitchen behind me, so that means we're gonna dive into cooking up for Shannon her evergreen profit machine. Okay, it's good now. Thank you for letting me know. All right, so one of the things that I think is cool about Shannon, and I wrote a lot about this week, is I looked at her Substack, which you can find if you've been paying attention. Okay, you can find her Substack at not blah blah blah.substack.com. You can go to getuntrappedmedia.com, and that's something I recommend everybody does. Buy a domain to send people to your Substack. Mine is howuprofit.com. Okay, it goes over a lot easier,
Yeah.
other than going jeffherring.substack.com. It's crazy. Okay. What she set herself up as and didn't even know it until we got talking is being a category of one. And what that means is you're doing something maybe that other people do. A lot of times they don't, in a way that they don't do. Like this show, I've done deep research and used Vicky, my AI, what I named her, we're so close. Um, to do the research for me. There's nobody else doing this. This is the only place you can get this, folks. So excuse me. This is not the time to get a tickle in your throat.
It
Uh,
happens at the most inopportune times.
oh yeah, exactly. And so every content creator on here needs to get their evergreen profit machine. You can do that at jeffherring.com/EPM. Now, because I've taught a lot when I was a therapist and then even now about getting unstuck. And I think getting untrapped, Shannon, is even more powerful and more specific. So, welcome to the show and let's dive in.
Yeah.
Uh, now, uh, one of the things Shannon and I did that I think I'm going to do from now on is that we met before this show, not just the 15 minutes before, but last week and talked this through. And so we're going to be able to go deeper. So what you're looking at, I keep forgetting that you guys can't see this. Someday, Substack Live is going to get that ability. Okay. But what I'm looking at, you can imagine, three boxes vertical, one out to the side and the middle one. Okay. And they contain a prequel product, a core product, a sequel product, and a spin-off product. And they each have their own purpose. The prequel product is to give somebody a taste. Hey, Dalton, welcome to the show. We're just getting started here. Give somebody a taste and make them want to get the core product. Okay. The other thing it does, it's beautiful, folks, and listen up. Look up here. The other beautiful thing it does is it builds your list of buyers instead of freebie seekers. You're building a list of buyers, which is cool. And it leads them to the core product, which is given your basic thing, the change you make, the transformation you bring, and what you're known for. And um, Shannon's got a good one. And then the sequel product is you want to do so well with the core that they think, all right, well, what's next? I want to spend more time with you. And that's awesome if you can make that recurring in some kind of way. And the spinoff product is usually a piece of the core, something that people really got into. Like my first course was article writing and marketing secrets or something. Too long because somebody already had article marketing secrets. Bum. Um, and everybody got really interested in one category in one module about list building. So my spinoff product became list building gold secrets. Okay. And so, all right, well, let's dive in here. Now, I'm really impressed, Shannon, with your typology. It's the four P's, and we're going to talk a little bit more in the prequel product about the pleaser. What are the other three traps that people fall into?
Yeah, so I call them trapped archetypes. So there's the
Cool. Makes it sound
performer.
very, very. You can
Yeah,
charge more for that. Yeah.
yeah. I love words. So there's the performer, there's the pleaser, then there's the passenger, and
Okay.
then there is the pleaser, performer, prover. The one
Prover.
that has
I was about to look at it for you on my other.
overachiever. Yeah, overachiever, the prover.
I love it. You know what that reminds me of? Years and years and years ago, when I was a counseling psychologist, a buddy of mine, Art, and I went on a morning show
Mhm.
in the city and to talk about these seven things that I'd become certified in. And poor Anna Johnson, she was the host, became a buddy, but she said, "Well, let's start with the first one. Art, why don't you tell us about that?" And Art goes, "Jeff, why don't you take that one?" Could be completely blank. So fortunately, I knew the stuff. All right. So those four are powerful. And folks, I want you to be thinking about which one are you? And we're all pieces of them. You probably like a lot of these personality typology archetypes things.
Mhm.
You've got you major in one and minor in another. Okay.
Yep.
Ooh,
Yep.
I've never thought of saying it that way before. Okay, major, minor. All right.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, so let's build your prequel first.
Okay.
And we called it when we talked Untrapped Light. And one of the ways to do it, folks, is get a piece of the core and give a light version of it that gives them a taste of transformation and leaves them wanting more. And so out of those four, Shannon, I think the most well-known one is the pleaser. Okay.
Yeah, I
Raise
would
your
agree.
hand. Not don't raise your if you're you can raise your hand if you want to, but just put yes in the chat in the messages if you have ever been a people pleaser or maybe know a people pleaser. Okay, and so yes and yes, right? Yeah. Um, all right, so that would be a really cool prequel. What and I know you go deeply into for all four archetypes. Yeah, here comes all the shores and yes, me
Mhm.
and yeah. Okay,
Mhm.
thank you guys. Welcome, Rhonda. We're just starting into the building the prequel out of the prequel, the core, the sequel, and the spinoff. Welcome aboard. Um, and I know you go deeper into four, and
Mhm.
we'll do that. Talk about that in the core product and going forward. What could you talk about for the pleaser light to give them a taste of the pleaser and how they get caught in it and what to do?
Yeah, I think talking about maybe the signs that you are a pleaser, and then perhaps go into what typically leads you into that pleaser, habits.
Right.
And then because I think understanding the why behind your behavior is, as you probably already know, is really the way that you can kind of untangle
Yeah. It starts to
those
make sense
habits.
of it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then you can kind of start separating yourself from those habits. And I think walking them through that journey of understanding what got you into this habit, why you got into this habit, and then what does it look like to not be a people pleaser? What
I
benefits
love that.
do
You
you
know
get?
what you could do if you wanted to? You could have some fun with this one because, you familiar with Jeff Foxworthy, the comedian?
Somewhat, yeah.
You might be a redneck if okay?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
he and I go to church together, and before I knew him there, uh, he, uh he was doing a book signing at a bookstore down, north of Atlanta, and my boys were like, you know, like 13 and 6 or whatever, so they're young, and so we go there to buy his book and meet him, right, and get it autographed. Well, Caleb, my youngest, he knew that you went to Barnes& and Noble, you looked around, you bought books, and then you left, and so after we bought the book, we're in another long line. He's like, "Dad, what are we doing here? Didn't we go get something to eat?" I said, "Well, we're waiting in line to go talk to the guy and have the guy that wrote this book sign it for us." He had no concept of that. Okay. So he's getting antsy and stuff. We get about 4 people before Jeff, and his picture was on the back of the book. And Caleb goes, "Dad, that guy is that guy." I'm like, "You got
Yeah.
it." So you could have, we'll play with this, but you could come up with some signs and symptoms like you might be a people pleaser if.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, I love
I'm
it.
sure you could come up with a
Oh,
whole
yeah.
lot of those, okay? And you might use it for all 4. So that's your prequel, and I like to price these at no-brainer prices, like
Mhm,
7 to 27, and
mhm.
again, to get buying behavior, building a list of buyers, and then it's an appetizer, think of it that way.
Right.
Um, and so the core product, we talked about a 4-module mini course, and with I don't remember, was that the 4 types that you were talking about, the 4 modules?
Yeah, well, it's a little bit of both. It's more
Yeah,
so the foundation is okay, now that you know what your archetype is,
okay,
we go into the untrap method, which is the letters, the untrap.
okay,
And so each letter represents a step in the process, but I
I
always
love it.
speak to the archetypes throughout.
Okay,
So,
and so at the beginning of that, you could lay out the 4 archetypes,
mhm.
signs, symptoms, help them identify it, and then you go into the, here's what you do. And
Yeah.
you've created an acronym out of Untrapped?
Mhm.
Oh, I love it. I see, this is gonna help you a lot.
Yeah.
Um, alright, and so, um, I love the size of it, 4 modules. Uh, you could even make it smaller and make it 3 modules and do one of the types as a bonus. So you're 'cause here's a little secret, folks. When you're building a product, most people, and don't be most people, get the product done and then start from scratch to build bonuses, right? Don't do that. Pull a bonus out of the product that they've never seen. They don't know that. And
Right.
there is the bonus. You don't got to work so hard. All right. So, um, you've got the 4, maybe the 3 and 1. And we'll play with some other bonuses later. Um, so would you go through it in the order that you have it in that article on Substack, or would it be a
Yeah,
different order? Okay.
I like that order because
Okay.
I typically design things to go from simple to complex. Like if
Okay.
you are first just being aware that you may have one of these traps,
Right.
then let's go a little bit more deeper into, well, why would you have this trap, or what caused this trap, or what experiences led you to believe that this was the way that you should be, and then what steps can we take to start getting untrapped, and then
Oh, I absolutely love that. I
yeah.
really do. Um, the other thing you could play with is you're telling people your trap diagnosis is,
Oh, I like that. Yeah, I
then you're
like
gonna
that.
go on, um, and then, before you can prescribe, you gotta diagnose, right?
Mhm.
So you've got the diagnosis, and here's the prescription, folks. Um,
Mhm.
you wear a white lab coat, I'm teasing. Um, and so here we're talking, and we'll go deeper in this when we talk more. But we're you know, I started to say 47, but no, that this is more valuable than that. I'm thinking like 97 to 197
For the
to start
core. Okay.
for this. I'm sorry, were you getting
Okay.
ready to ask something?
Well, I was asking for the core. You mean the core
Yes,
curriculum or okay.
yeah, and that's to start to get people in it, and then as it grows, we can start raising the price. That 97 becomes 147 or 197 and then on up there. Another thing you can do with that when we offer it is, you can say when this is complete, because you're going to do this live, right?
Yes.
With people. Great. You can say that when this is complete, it's going to be 197. Okay. I'm offering you your backstage pass of only 97, and you'll get to ask questions and help me build this course for you. That gets a lot of buying behavior because that backstage pass, it's getting hearts. I mean, come on, you guys like it. Um, that's a good strategy. All right, so we've got the prequel, which is Untrapped Light. We're going to talk about the pleaser a light version, signs, symptoms, what to do.
Mhm.
Um, and then the core product is going to be all four of those. And you call them the four archetypes
Yeah,
of
trapped
being trapped.
archetypes.
Trapped
Mhm.
archetypes. Thank you. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, what's going to happen is that there'll be a percentage of these people that take this course
Mhm.
that say, but Shannon, it's the fourth module, and I still want contact with you. What's next? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, 99% of the people out there don't have an answer. Okay. One of the reasons I'm doing this, so everybody will have an answer to that. Okay. And you'll have, I think you called it your Untrapped Accelerator.
Mhm.
Ooh, I love that title. Yes. I like that. Let's
Yeah.
accelerate. Um, and so I remember talking about it's 6 weeks. And is it exclusively one on one or is it one on one and group?
It's one-on-one and group. So they'll
Okay.
have 3 they'll have 3 one-on-ones with me. So I like to do like the pre-call kind of like with us where we talk before the live and just to get a feel for where they are and where they feel like they need the most support. And then I want them to go through the program with the group for about a week or 2, and then we come together, take a temperature test on where things are, how do they feel, what do they feel like I need to cover more of, where do they feel like they need more support, and then the final one-on-one is, "You've completed everything, how do you feel now? Are
I
you
love it. This is
good?"
this
Yeah.
is well set up. I love it. Now, you mentioned some time ideas in there. One of the things you can do is set up something like this. I mean, if people want to pay the whole thing right away, fine. And we haven't even priced it yet. The
Right.
other way to do it, you've got 6 weeks. If you could have like 2 weeks and then a week off for them to be doing something, two
Mhm.
more weeks, a week off. Now you've taken your 6 weeks and made eight, which makes it really easy for people to pay you in two payments. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
Because
like that.
the cool thing about that is they're getting used to paying you monthly. So when it comes time for what's next, and there is a next, folks, you can say, hey, look, you've been doing 97 for 2 months. Let's just continue it and we'll go on, you know? And it really makes that smooth because what happens from prequel to core to sequel and then over to spinoff, a percentage of people are going to buy everything. That's just who they are and what they do. I love those clients customers. And then, a percentage of them will go to each one. And so you want to have those offers, which is really good to do. Okay. So I'm thinking if we launched this at 97, then um, the sequel is like 197 or two payments of 97 or something like that. Maybe even a little bit higher as we're going up.
Okay.
Maybe 297 and then two payments each month. Because you're getting them used to paying you monthly.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Um, and so we've done the prequel, we've done the core, we're we've done the sequel. Now, the spinoff, we called it an untrapped community. I love
Mhm.
that. Um, and that would be you're doing group coaching. It's a community where they can meet each other, hang out, that kind of thing. That's because what I like to do with the sequel and the spinoff for folks is that's the holy grail of internet marketing, of recurring payments. Okay. I'm looking at my email and I'm seeing two that have come in recently, so that's cool. Um, and so you know, continuing with the theme, it could be 97 a month. Okay, for the community because they're used to paying you 97 bucks. Okay,
Mhm.
you kind of looked away at that. Is that sounding too low or too high?
No, I think it's just right for right
Okay,
now.
okay, all right. Three bears, just right. Um, and so now the thing about communities, about memberships that can really hang you up is I learned in '09 with the Article Marketing Teleseminar Club, weird name, that you can over deliver because there was 5 modules and we were teaching each module a month. So that was 5 trainings a month.
Mhm.
Okay. The cool thing about it, as I had my then 14-year-old son reading the questions from people. So that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Um, but, or, and when people started dropping out, they just couldn't keep up.
Mhm.
They didn't do the stuff from the first one, and it's already the next week. Okay. So I became real big on two things: service delivery time for us, and service consumption time for your people. Okay? And
Okay.
we're in the world now where people want quick answers. Give me give me what you do. Let's go do it. Um, and so one of the simplest ways to do this is do a monthly training,
Mhm.
okay, and then a monthly Q&A.
Okay.
Okay, bless you. And it's okay.
My
I'm fine.
son.
I'm fine. I am so used to noise on my background, and that's why I'm having fun with it. Don't worry about it at all. So that way, you've got um, 4 to 5 months already built out. The pleaser, the other 3 Ps, one a month. Okay, and then the fifth month could be putting it all together. Okay, and then you start all over again. And some of you out there are thinking, well, you're just going to go through the same 4 again? Yes. Here's why. Okay. Some of those folks during the first round just weren't ready. They were listening, but they just weren't ready or they weren't hearing it. Okay. I don't know about you, Shannon, but I've been to programs more than once
Yeah, oh yeah, for
because
sure.
I want to get what I missed,
Mhm.
or I wasn't ready or whatever. Okay. That's one. Thing two is, Shannon, you'll have added people to your programs but during those 4 to 5 months. And so for some people, it'll be brand new. They can access the stuff before. And then the beauty of that is, at least where I went to school, 4 times 3 is 12. And so you've got a whole year running this cycle 3 times.
Yeah.
Now, I could make it harder for you, uh,
Oh, no.
but why? Right?
No, simple is good. Yeah, simple is good.
Simple is best. Simple is profit. Um, so the pleaser light, the 4 trapped archetypes. That's a core product. The sequel product is an accelerator, untrapped accelerator. You're working both with them in a group and one-on-one.
Mhm.
And then the spinoff is the community, untrapped community. And one of the beauties there is that when you're doing one-on-ones and groups, they tend to feed each other. Back
Right.
when I was doing the therapy stuff, about half my practice was teenagers. And they built out the rest of my practice because most teenagers came with families. They came with
Mm,
parents with their issues, and the parents were part of a marriage and that had issues. And then the
right.
sibling wanted to talk about something. I'm like, I like this. So they may feed in and out of each other as we build. Okay.
Okay.
Now, a big question everybody has is, what do you do first? Okay. Well, you could do it the Star Wars way and start at, episode 4. Uh, but we're going to back up to episode 1 and do the
Okay.
prequel first. Get some buying behavior, build a list of buyers, and then this is really going to work for you because you know this typology, this untrapped archetype
Hmm.
really, really well. You could probably teach it right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I've studied your Substack. I can tell.
Yeah.
And so those will be the first two. And the cool thing is, let's say that you're doing the pleaser light, okay?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
people are asking, well, what's next? What's next? You can promote and sell the mini course with just one module built because you're doing it live. Got it? So you
Okay.
can do the
Okay.
pleaser light and then the pleaser. Now, by the next week, you got to come up with the next one. Uh,
Right.
but and I remember when I did one of my first 12-week programs, article marketing for beginners. Yeah, I launched it on a Thursday morning with it was 12 weeks, and I launched it on a Thursday morning with 3 of them done. So I knew I had 3 weeks lead time. And
Right.
I just after that, I just had to have one done for Thursday. Now,
Mhm.
I will confess that there were a few Wednesday nights I spent a little bit later than I wanted to getting that done because there was something was going on in the morning.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but that just makes it easier for you. Um,
Hmm.
all right, so we're heading towards wrap up time. We got the Evergreen Profit Machine. Questions so far,
No, so I know we're starting with the prequel, which
right?
is the just focusing on one archetype, highlighting that, and then lead into the main course, like if they want to know all four and how to get out of them, basically.
Right,
Okay.
exactly. And then your accelerator, and then the community. But yeah, we'll focus. We'll talk about this in a minute. You and I will focus on the prequel and then the making the pleaser both light and the full, and we'll be on our way.
Okay.
Um, Thank you for being a great guest and bringing great stuff,
Yeah.
folks. Many of us on this call are old enough to remember the Johnny Carson show, right? If that's you, just say yes in the chat or give a heart. Um, I loved watching that show. And one of the best things about moving from Miami to Kansas is we moved to Central Time. And so it came on at 10:30 instead of 11:30. And my nana, she loved Johnny Carson. So I'd get her to talk my parents into letting me stay up. And you know how Johnny Carson would do what they call double entendres, could mean a couple different things. And
Hmm.
my prim and proper Southern Belle Nana would, when he heard one, would go, "Oh, Johnny." And Larry says yes about the Johnny Carson. Yeah, he did something else when a comedian came on the Tonight Show, okay, and did their thing. If Johnny had waved him over, that meant they'd arrived and they were starting. So I'm waving you over into the what I call the profit couch, just like Johnny Carson, the couch.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
and you've already got that link, but I'll give it to you again. It's jeffherring.com/meet. Although I should start calling it couch. jeffherring.com/meet. And folks, again, thank you, Shannon, for being such uh, a great guest and bringing great stuff. Now, folks, I hope you watch this with two things in mind. One, how can I use this in my own business? And two, how can I get Jeff to do for me what he's doing for Shannon? Now, every single person that's on here and every single person that catches the on demand replay, which drops Saturday morning, okay, needs one of these. Okay. It's going to make your life so much simpler and so much more profitable. Okay. And so the link for that is jeffherring.com EPM. EPM stands for Evergreen Profit Machine. Okay. jeffherring.com /EPM. And that will be in your show notes too. Now, I'm going to say a nod to our closing sponsor, And that's I love these. This is the Academy of People Building a Website since 2019. Okay. And their website is it's almostready.net. And you can get their 12-part course called From Headline to Hell, Overthinking Your Homepage in 83 Simple Steps. So, um, and folks that have been with us a while know I'm joking. It's just to insert some fun in here. Don't go look at it's almost ready.net. It ain't there. Or if it is, I just sent traffic there. Okay. So, as always, folks, thank you for being here. A lot of places online you could have been, and you chose to be with Shannon and me. Much appreciated. Shannon, you and I will talk on the Profit Couch. And folks, go use this stuff. And until next time, you know what to do. Go use this stuff, and we'll see you then.
Bye.
I like that way.